Nazi war crimes are a dark stain on human history that reminds us of the depths of inhumanity that comes with unchecked power. The horrifying atrocities committed by the Nazis during their reign are well known. However, amidst the widely known horrors lies a lesser explored dimension of their brutality, the unspeakable punishments that inflicted upon gay men. This self-proclaimed ethical people looked at the world in a certain way, and like Jews, gay men were not part of it. Join us as we uncover the painful truths of the persecution and suffering that gay men endured at the hands of the Nazi regime. These are the painful punishments insane Nazis did to gay men. The Nazis implemented a range of brutal and inhumane punishments for various groups, including gay men, during their rule in Germany from 1933 to 1945. The punishments were often aimed at persecuting and dehumanizing those they considered undesirable according to their warped ideology. Let's go back in time to the early 20th century in Germany. Although homosexuality was illegal in the early 20th century Germany, it coexisted with a vibrant and thriving culture. However, the passionate rhetoric of a marginal socialist workers' party swiftly transformed into a nationwide policy. In 1933, Adolf Hitler ascended to the position of chancellor, rapidly implementing a policy agenda steeped in prejudice. Within a mere year, subsequent to the Night of the Long Knives, the Nazi regime relentlessly targeted Germany's homosexual population. Look, and you'll find the symbol assigned to the gay population under the Nazi regime. Across the nation, a transformation that would alter the course of history was underway, and the shift, coincidentally, unfolded in the birthplace of the first homosexual movement. Back in the late 19th century, Germany held a unique position, characterized by lenient censorship laws and a burgeoning community of writers who openly criticized the criminalization of homosexuality. This environment fostered a significant milestone, as LGBTQ+ literature designed exclusively for readers emerged by 1919. Simultaneously, in 1871, the German Criminal Code introduced paragraph 175, a provision that criminalized same-sex relations between men. Regrettably, the momentum of the early homosexual movement was hindered by the Great Depression of 1929, and in its central objective, to repeal paragraph 175, went unrealized. When the Nazis assumed power, they seized upon the existence of paragraph 175 as a conduit to advance their hateful ideology. By 1935, the Nazis had thoroughly revised the law, effectively weaponizing it to persecute homosexual men across Germany. What followed was an unprecedented and merciless persecution, marking the onset of an ominous purge. The Nazis viewed homosexuality as deviant behavior, perceiving it as a threat. In the Nazi ideology, even the mere contemplation of homosexual love labeled individuals as enemies, prior to their ascent in the 1930s. Nazi politicians had linked homosexuality to their long-standing paranoia, an alleged Jewish conspiracy against the German people. In 1933, the Nazis launched a widespread crackdown of homosexuality throughout Germany and its occupied territories. Prominent gay establishments in cities such as Berlin, Hanover, and Cologne were forcibly shuttered, often subject to police raids. LGBTQ+ community members with a degree of public visibility, activists, sex workers, and more, became targets. The Night of the Long Knives is a widely acknowledged chapter in the saga of the Nazi ascent to power. Its implications are evident, echoing the violent revolutions witnessed throughout history, characterized by an aggressive quest for power, often involving the elimination of potential obstacles within their own ranks. Yet, when viewed from an LGBT perspective, the Night of the Long Knives reveals an entirely distinct narrative. A significant change was unfolding across the country. Hitler wanted more power and to control the SA. However, this had many consequences. A man named Ernst Röhm was an important member of the German Workers' Party and a founder of the SA. But after the Nazis took control, his close relationship with Hitler changed. The SA became very violent and too powerful, worrying the German military. To protect his position, Hitler ordered the arrest and execution of Röhm and other SA leaders in 1934. Ironically, Röhm was openly gay, and his own writings talked about his attraction to men. Another SA leader, Edmund Heinz, faced the same fate after being found with another man when he was arrested. This purge focused on getting rid of gay people in the Nazi ranks, and it made the police even stronger. Heinrich Himmler became a top leader in charge of the SS, concentration camps, and the Gestapo, which was the secret police. He was also very anti-gay. From this point, the Nazis started attacking gay people more aggressively. Starting in 1936, the Nazis made it an official policy to target gay people. Police in Germany made it a big job to find and punish them. In a scary way, what was once a group focused on homosexuality turned into a powerful office to stop homosexuality and abortion. In smaller towns, things were a bit better, but in cities, the police were determined to find gay people. In 1937, Himmler told the police to make lists of gay people or those they thought were gay. This made it so that gay people were watched everywhere. If they changed where they lived, they had to tell the police. This was a really tough time for gay people. The Nazis started to use the courts and police to arrest gay people, but there weren't enough resources, so things got really chaotic. Many cases went to court based on private things that were almost impossible to prove. On top of that, the police weren't very good at identifying who was gay. Sometimes they just arrested groups of young men and asked them personal questions. They brought many cases to court using these unfair methods. From 1937 to 1939, the Nazis arrested about 95,000 men for being gay, which is about 600 arrests every week. At the same time, almost 30,000 people were prosecuted under a law called Paragraph 175. Before the Nazis, this law might get you a few months in prison, but now people were getting years. The Nazis thought homosexuality was bad and wanted to stop it. They connected it to their fear of Jewish people. They started to go after gay bars, clubs, and even meeting places. If you were LGBTQ+, you were watched and targeted by the Nazis. In smaller places, you could still live quietly, but in big cities, things were worse. The Nazis didn't like homosexuality, and this made life very tough for LGBTQ+ people. They even started sending gay people to concentration camps where they would torture them and murder them in the gas chambers. By 1935, a lot of people in concentration camps were there because they were gay. They said it was to re-educate them. In 1939, if you were gay and had already been in prison, you would go straight to a concentration camp. Around 6,000 gay men were imprisoned in concentration camps. Life in these camps was really hard, especially for gay and Jewish prisoners. They had to work really hard and the conditions were terrible. Guards often hurt or killed gay prisoners just because they could. Some camps made gay prisoners work to death. In one camp, all the gay prisoners were executed. Before they killed you, they experimented by chopping off your balls and cutting off your penis. Before we continue, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for support and upcoming videos. Towards the end of the Nazi rule, they even used gay prisoners for experiments. It was a terrible time for LGBTQ+ people under the Nazis. At one point, a Danish doctor named Carl Vernet gained notoriety for conducting disturbing experiments. He implanted testosterone pellet implants in homosexual individuals in an attempt to change their sexual orientation. Tragically, most of those who underwent these involuntary experiments ended up losing their lives. Homosexuals and Jews were subjected to various other experiments as well, including treatments for typhus, phosphorus burns, and tests involving drugs like Pervitin and opiates. In some particularly extreme cases, even castration was inflicted upon homosexuals, both inside and outside concentration camps, often under the authority of the Gestapo. It's estimated that up to 800 men suffered castration under this so-called medical pretext. Gay prisoners in the camps were identified by a pink triangle symbol on their clothing, a degrading and isolating practice used by the Nazis to marginalize and label them as inferior. Over time, the LGBTQ+ community reclaimed the pink triangle as a symbol of strength, resistance, and pride. You didn't want such a symbol. It led to a physical and mental torture. Stories were heard of gang rape, mutilation, abuse, torture, and attempts to change your sexual orientation. As the shadows of the Nazi regime receded, the strength of the human spirit continued to shine through. Though discrimination against homosexuality endured in the aftermath, it took on a less violent form. The post-World War II era witnessed a determined effort by the Allies to reshape the world. Yet the persistence of laws in Paragraph 175 in occupied territories perpetuated the persecution and prosecution of gay men. Despite these challenges, a gradual evolution towards equality was set in motion, culminating in East and West Germany decriminalizing homosexuality in 1968 and 1969 respectively. The 1970s marked a turning point, echoing with the echoes of resilience. Following the historic Stonewall riots, the world began to acknowledge and address the dark chapter of Nazi persecution that had affected homosexuals. This awakening symbolized a collective commitment to healing and learning from the past. In 1985, a remarkable moment of introspection arrived as Richard von Weizsäcker, president of West Germany, officially confronted the actions of the Nazi regime. This courageous act not only signaled accountability, but also exemplified the transformative power of acknowledgement and remembrance. The year 2002 witnessed the annulment of judgments made under the Nazi-era paragraph 175, a momentous stride toward rectifying historical injustices. And in 2017, an offering whose compensation to victims reverberated as a testament to the enduring resilience of those who had suffered. What are your thoughts on this video? Please leave your comment below and subscribe to this channel.